Well, it's an interesting film, not least because of that tonal issue. So, um, when I was asking Sally Hawkins then about the comedy and the tragedy side by side, that is the thing that is at the center of the film, and it is a tightrope, and I think it is a very very hard balance to get right. I'll tell you, I've now seen the film twice. The first time I watched it, I found it quite hard to get on with that balance because on the one hand the story is very very sympathetic to its central character. We are kind of encouraged to see the world through her eyes, and I have to say that I think the production design and the camera work are really the things that draw you into that world. I believe it's shot in 35. It is really beautifully production designed in a way which reflects everything that's happening to the character, but it's a very uncomfortable and very uneasy world to be in. And I found the first time I watched it, that balance of the discomfort that you feel and also the laughter, the black comedy that you get, not least because some of the performances are playing fairly broad, like in the case of the mother. It's like there's a sympathetic sister and an unsympathetic sister and a very kind of passive aggressive mother, and you feel like you're actually not sure how you're meant to react to that. And I have seen some people who have come out of it at the end actually not entirely sure tonally how to deal with it. Second time round, I found it more satisfying. I still think that it's difficult to entirely engage with because it has this kind of man at arch theatrical tone, that's kind of it borders on realism and surrealism, comedy, tragedy. Um, it is a balancing act all the way through. The second time round, when I understood the balancing act more, I got more out of it. But I have to say, the second time round, what I was really being led by, and what I perhaps hadn't appreciated so much the first time, was how much of the way the film is designed was telling me the story and giving me the clues, the keys to finding a way into it. It is a difficult film. There's no question about it, and I think that it's not entirely successful in managing that balance. But I there I- there is something at the heart of it that is admirable, because what it's trying to do is it's trying to present the world through the eyes of its central character without in any way sort of stigmatizing the fact that she's living with schizophrenia, but also having a humorous element, but without that ever being, laughing at somebody or laughing at a character. It's to do with finding a way into their world. As I said, it took me two goes to get in, and I think that may be more than than everyone is willing to go. But the first time I saw it, I found it hard work, and I thought I need to go back to this. I need to see it again because I do think the way in which it's designed is telling me that there is a movie there that I'm not fully engaging with. Even after the second time, I'm not fully sold, but I do think second time round I understood it tonally more. How did you find it?
Well, I'm just thinking about the word that you used there, which was admirable, which to me feels like the kind of word that a teacher would give to a
Oh, I'm sorry.
pupil
Okay,
no, 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 this might be entirely, it may well be
sure.
exactly the right word. I'm not saying you shouldn't have used it, but I'm saying if something is admirable, it makes it sound maybe worthy and well intentioned, but not quite successful.
Okay,
So
but I don't mean,
maybe that's the right
but
word.
but I don't mean that, because actually the tone of it is not worthy at all. In fact, the tone of it is darkly comedic, and that's the thing that makes it difficult. It's also probably the thing that makes it special. But it is the balancing act is so strange that I confess the first time I watched it, I found that balancing act. It wasn't, funnily enough, one of the things it reminded me of, and this is another film that I needed two runs at. There's a film by Tim Spall, who Sally Hawkins mentioned in that interview, not by him, stars him, which he plays all the roles, called Stanley, a Man of Variety. And that was a film that it took me two runs at. And but I went back to it because I did think that there was something in there that was worth revisiting. So it's a difficult film, it's an uncomfortable film, it's not a wholly successful film, but it is trying something, and it has a style of its own. And as I said, it is funny, second time round, it's the production design, it's the look of the film that's telling me the story.